Someone is leaving. Someone else is arriving. And one family is about to be torn apart by a secret they never saw coming. Just when Tyrone Dobbs thought life was finally beginning to settle down, everything changes again. A shocking proposal. A devastating betrayal. A mystery man walking into the bistro. And one emotional goodbye that could change the Dobbs family forever. Welcome back to Coronation Street Update. For Tyrone, family has never been simple. He's spent years searching for stability. Years trying to protect the people he loves. Years believing that after everything he'd survived, life might finally reward him with a little peace. But Weatherfield has other plans. Because the woman who fought so hard to rebuild her relationship with her son is now standing dangerously close to losing everything. Cassie Plummer has always been unpredictable. Sometimes vulnerable. Sometimes funny. Sometimes completely self-destructive. And that's exactly what makes her so dangerous. Every time it seems she's finally turning her life around, something happens that pulls her back toward chaos. This time may be different. Because the consequences could be permanent. But that's only the beginning. As viewers already know, Cassie's future on the cobbles is hanging by a thread. Her departure is fast approaching, and those closest to her can already feel something isn't right. Even Cassie herself seems to sense that time is running out. She desperately wants happiness. She desperately wants somebody to choose her. Most of all, she desperately wants to believe she deserves another chance. That emotional desperation pushes her toward a decision nobody sees coming. Instead of waiting for Steve McDonald to decide where their relationship is heading, Cassie takes control herself. In one bold and emotionally charged moment, she drops to one knee. She proposes. It's a gesture filled with hope. But also fear. Because underneath the romantic surprise lies a heartbreaking truth. Cassie isn't simply asking Steve to marry her. She's asking someone to prove she's worth staying for. And that's a much bigger gamble. What makes the moment even more painful is that viewers already know uncertainty surrounds every part of Cassie's future. Can Steve really trust her? Can Cassie truly leave her troubled past behind? Or has history already written the ending? Those questions refuse to disappear. Especially when another familiar face keeps complicating everything. Tracy Barlow. Her presence instantly changes the atmosphere. The playful tension between Steve and Tracy refuses to disappear, no matter how much either of them tries to deny it. Cassie notices every glance, every conversation, every shared smile. Her insecurities begin growing stronger with every passing minute. She becomes convinced someone is trying to drive a wedge between her and Steve. Whether that's true or not almost doesn't matter anymore. Because once doubt enters a relationship, it becomes almost impossible to silence. Then everything takes an even darker turn. Feeling rejected. Feeling humiliated. Feeling completely alone. Cassie makes a decision driven entirely by emotion rather than reason. She walks away. Not to clear her head. Not to calm down. But to escape. She heads to the Chariot Square Hotel, carrying far more emotional baggage than anyone around her realizes. One drink quickly becomes another. The alcohol begins numbing the heartbreak. For a short moment, it feels easier, safer, less painful. Then she notices a stranger sitting nearby. A casual conversation begins. Nothing serious. Nothing planned. But when people are emotionally vulnerable, the smallest decisions often create the biggest consequences. Meanwhile, Steve has no idea where Cassie has disappeared to. His own emotions begin changing too. What started as frustration slowly transforms into genuine concern. He begins searching for her. But he's already too late. Because Cassie, overwhelmed by loneliness and self-doubt, crosses another dangerous line. She makes a move toward the stranger. It's impulsive, emotional, almost desperate. And in that heartbreaking instant, she risks destroying everything she had been trying so hard to rebuild. But one detail changes everything. When the emotional storm finally settles, Cassie doesn't continue running away. Instead, she goes home. That decision tells us something incredibly important about her character. Despite every mistake, despite every lie, despite every setback, part of Cassie still desperately wants to belong. She wants forgiveness. She wants family. She wants another chance. Standing before Tyrone and everyone else she loves, she quietly explains that she simply needed time alone. Whether they completely believe her or not, the family chooses to move forward. Hope even invites everyone to share a meal together at the bistro. For one brief moment, normal life almost returns. Laughter, conversation, family. Exactly what Tyrone has always wanted. But in Coronation Street, peace never lasts for long. Because while everyone is distracted by Cassie's emotional roller coaster, Hope and Ruby have been quietly working on a surprise. A surprise so enormous, it could completely rewrite Tyrone's understanding of his own family. Without telling anyone, the girls secretly sent away a DNA sample. Not out of malice. Not out of curiosity alone. But because they wanted to give Tyrone something he had spent decades living without. Answers. The results finally arrive. They've located Tyrone's biological father. Even more astonishing, he's already here. Suddenly the atmosphere inside the bistro completely changes. Nobody is prepared for what comes next. Tyrone freezes. Cassie looks stunned. The family falls silent. Then a man walks through the door. Ross. The father Tyrone has never truly known. The stranger connected to decades of unanswered questions. The man capable of changing the Dobbs family forever. In one single moment, Cassie's emotional crisis is completely overshadowed by an even bigger revelation. How do you react when someone you've imagined your entire life suddenly becomes real? Can Tyrone trust this man? Why has he appeared now? What secrets has he been carrying all these years? And perhaps the most frightening question of all. Is Ross arriving to build a family? Or to destroy one? As if all of that wasn't enough. Another emotional twist quietly unfolds behind the scenes. Cassie's future in Weatherfield remains uncertain. Tyrone has reached the point where he's exhausted by the constant lies, the endless drama, and the painful consequences that seem to follow his mother wherever she goes. He still loves her. She's still his mom. But love doesn't erase disappointment. And disappointment doesn't erase trust once it's been broken. That heartbreaking conflict may become the most devastating part of this entire story. Because sometimes losing someone isn't caused by death. Sometimes it's caused by choices. And just when the Dobbs family believes they've survived another emotional storm, the biggest challenge of all may only be beginning. Because if Ross brings long-buried secrets with him, Cassie's explosive exit may simply be the first domino to fall. And when the truth about this growing family finally comes into the light, nothing in Tyrone's world may ever be the same again.